Welcome to another episode of Sports and Discourse with your host, Derek Stevenson. And on today's episode, I want to talk about how important I think this NCAA tournament is for John Calipari and his legacy, as well as for Kentucky and their legacy. And I'm going to just be honest with you. I feel like this is a very important postseason for John Calipari. I feel like the fans have, they pretty much basically gave John Calipari a pass for the last several seasons because they had so much hope, so much belief that this was going to be the team that was going to take us back to prominence, potentially be the team that was going to win us our 9th championship. And I was one of those people, man. I definitely, I was frustrated with last year's team. And I was ready for this season. I was ready for this group of players. I love some of the guys in this class. And it's been kind of a rocky season. But I feel like it's been a rocky season for everybody. And that's kind of the thing that makes it a little scary for me, is that I feel like every single team is vulnerable this year. There might be a few guys that kind of seem a little bit above the rest of the teams, but some people might think UConn is one of those teams. But to be honest with you, I feel like everybody's vulnerable to a degree. I feel like every game, or I say no game should be taken lightly. Even us against Oakland, the Oakland Grizzlies, their coach kind of came out and he made some statements where he said he feels confident playing against us. And, I don't know if he believes that or not. I don't know if he's just maybe trying to psych his players up, get his players juiced up for the game. Whatever you got to do to get your guys ready. Calipari's coming with the tweaks as usual. He's talking about potentially playing 2 7-footers at one time. We don't really know how he's going to play it. We don't know if he's going to go small, if he's going to go extra big. We don't know what he's going to do. And so I'm just waiting to see, like everybody else. But I do feel like this is one of those ones where I feel like Calipari almost has to have like at least an Elite 8 run. There's some people that I talk to that aren't necessarily Kentucky fans, so you got to take that into consideration, but that have been paying very close attention to our team that feel like they're not gonna make it out of the first weekend. So a lot of people is going to be paying attention to this particular team, what they do, and they're going to be waiting to see Kentucky either rise to the top or fall off. And if, I feel like if they do fall off, it's going to be bad for Calipari. I don't know how much longer he would be able to, have the fans support him. Even though, to be honest with you, I just feel like we may have to come to the realization that it's probably going forward going to be too difficult to win championships when you rely on a whole team full of young, freshmen or underclassmen in general. And I know that Antonio Reeves and Trey Mitchell have been like 2 of our better players throughout the whole entire season. But the rest of the guys is all young. So, they pretty much sophomores and under. So I don't know if we can continue to build rosters the way that we have been and, remain successful. It might be time to start to move more to the transfer portal or, maybe, cutting back on some of these super talented freshmen that we always have on the team every year and start going for some more proven commodities as far as college is concerned. And I understand Calipari's whole situation. Like, I don't get bent out of shape over it. I know that he always talks about getting the guys to the NBA. But the one thing that he said when he first got here was he said that the winning will take care of itself. And when he started at Kentucky, he was pretty much spot on with that. The winning was taking care of itself. He was getting the top-notch recruits. They were going to Final Fours. They brought home a championship. So he was looking like, pretty much like he prophesized it all, and he knew it was going to work out for the best. And like I said, for a while it did, but now it's starting to look like it just might not be the way anymore. So like I said, man, I think this is going to be a very important tournament for him. And it could be like I said, I don't want to say a make or break type of year for him. Because I don't think that, like, if they flame out in the tournament, I don't think he'll get fired or anything like that. I mean, he still has a pretty hefty buyout in his contract, I believe. So I think his job would still be safe. And I think for the most part, people still believe in him as a coach, as far as, he still puts a good product on the court. We don't really necessarily have a weak team. We just feel like we maybe could have a stronger team that could compete more in college instead of basically becoming an NBA factory, which is, a lot of our fans view us as an NBA factory. We like an NBA pipeline, and I think it's becoming frustrating to a lot of people. Like I said, I'm kind of neutral, because I feel like he could still potentially do both. I feel like if he sort of scaled back, I think he could still get several guys to the NBA each year, and also build a team that could compete in college and get us some championships, which is what I do want. I want to see everybody win. I want to see the kids win and achieve their goals, but I also want to see the program achieve its goals. And I want the fans to be rewarded, because the fans, I mean, we pack it in every night. We travel. We invest a lot of time and a lot of our money into the program as much as we can. And, we want to be rewarded with that. So I think this is just going to be one of those seasons where this is going to be a defining moment for him. But I have confidence in our guys tonight. I'm going to watch some clips of Oakland and see what I think about them, and, see what I think our game plan could potentially be. The one thing that actually shocked me is Kentucky's actually averaging 6 blocks a game, which, that kind of surprised me, because throughout the whole entire year, our defense has obviously been the weakest part of our game. We've scored, we've shot the ball well. We've had several guys go for big numbers offensively. Pretty much at this point, every player has had one or two of those spectacular games. So we pretty much know what to expect offensively. We're always unsure on defense, and to see that we have been averaging 6 blocks a game is kind of surprising, because I feel like with that level of rim protection, our defense should be a little bit better. So one of the main keys for me tonight is I want to see our guys play as hard as they've ever played on defense for the rest of the time they're at Kentucky. The bad thing about when you have a team full of freshmen is that we have to be more critical. We have to be more expecting of these younger players, because we only going to have them for one season. So basically, the majority of these freshmen, when they come in, they're either basically the equivalent of a junior or a senior, because we don't usually have them for 3 years. We'd be lucky to retain some of them for 2. Most of them, we only going to have them for 1 season. So basically, we got a team full of seniors pretty much, because if they don't win it this year, they're going to be gone. And we're going to be on to the next group of guys. So, like I said, unfortunately, we got to look at them different. And I know that we was super critical on Justin Edwards the whole entire season, and hopefully, hopefully he be ready to go tonight. But we need everybody playing like poised, veteran, seniors. Like, we need everybody ready to go, man. This is the moment. Everybody's been saying they was built for March. So we in March. So we going to see what they made of. But I do feel like Kentucky has shown throughout the season that they can compete and beat top-level competition. They lost a couple of winnable games. Like I think they had a shot at Kansas and a few other games like that. We've lost some. We've had some disappointing losses. I'll say that as well. But overall, I feel pretty confident that if Kentucky brings their A game, I think their A game is good enough to compete with anybody in the country. So hopefully, they're gonna bring that out, for the rest of the season, A game after A game until we get to this championship. But like I said, man, to be realistic, I understand how hard it is to win a championship. It's almost, the best team. The best team don't hardly ever win the championship. It's probably one of the hardest tournaments to win in amateur or high level amateur or professional sports. So, I don't always feel like Kentucky's gonna win the championship every year, but I at least would like to see these guys make an Elite Eight or Final Four run. If they got to the Final Four, I would be extremely satisfied with this season, especially considering that they had a couple of stretches in the season where they didn't really look that good. So if they could improve enough just to get to the Final Four, I would be super satisfied with that. Obviously, I want them to win the championship. I feel like it's about time for us to hang another one. So hopefully they can pull it off, man. But anyways, I'll wrap it up right there. You guys let me know how you feel about our chances to win the 2024 NCAA championship. What do you think about our matchup tonight with Oakland? And what do you think our strengths and our weaknesses have to be? What players are we going to have to rely on to get this done? Let me know in the comment section, and we'll get back at it next time. Sports and Discourse with Derek Stevenson.